G'day and welcome to the next episode of Gav's EV Conversion. Well, a lot has happened in the last 6 months. Up there in the USA, the land of the free, the Americans now have a new president, Barack Obama. And down here in the land of the not quite free but reasonably priced, we have ourselves a new Prime Minister, John Key. What else has been happening? I've had a brief stint at advertising, which was a lot of fun but didn't last long. And the car has a new CD player. Thanks, Rob. It was a donation from him. Now that he's got a new one. Not only that, but I've topped up the water in the batteries twice. And most importantly of all, we are now running in high definition. It's been a very busy last few months. We have had a lot of work done on the house. The bathroom is still a mess, but we have had insulation installed in the ceiling and some insulation installed under the house to keep the house nice and warm. We have a heat pump installed now as well. That little beauty keeps the house nice and toasty in winter and will keep us nice and cool as summer approaches very quickly. Not only that, but the car now has its own place to sit on the driveway. It used to sit on the lawn and tore the lawn up, but now since we have a rudimentary gravel driveway installed, it can park out there. We also have a isolated power point for the car to recharge out there, so there's no risk of being electrocuted. Hey, that's always a bonus. What I'm a little bit worried about, however, is bits of rust like this appearing all over the car. It's been a very, very long, wet winter, one of the wettest ones we've had for a while. And you can see the car really doesn't like having its rust moistened all the time. I've done a good job of hiding the rust, but it's starting to come back in places that I didn't know I had it. So I'm not looking forward to the next Warren fitness test. If things go really badly, it may fail and it may prove uneconomical to repair. Even though the cost of gas is temporarily low, interest in electric cars is still really high. And I'm on my way now to see Richard, who is another converter here in New Plymouth. He's converting a Ford Laser, so let's go and see how good his progress is. This is Richard, who is converting a Ford Laser. What is the voltage of the car?
It's 144 volts with a DC advanced, whatever they are, motor.
Yes.
Fairly standard stuff. I thought about doing AC, but it's really far too complicated for a newbie, so we'll go with the basic one, get a bit of experience.
Awesome. And what amp hour batteries are you using?
Well, I've decided to use 160 amp hour lithium ions. Really, these are the only technically credible way of actually getting a usable range out of the vehicle at a reasonable weight.
When do you plan to have it on the road?
Well, yeah, I would hope by the end of summer.
Good. By the end of summer, I won't be the only person at the next electric car meetup. Sitting in a car park by myself.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, one of the problems that I have run into is trying to get around the idea of the power steering. All later model cars have this, and it's frowned on by the authorities to circumvent it. Just one of the decisions about putting the lithium ions in was the cost. I reckon that by sort of year 6, 7, 8, they'll be paying more handsomely.
I think so, yeah. The cost of fuel is only going to go up.
Sure is.
There's a pretty limited resource. Awesome. Okay, well I'll come back and I'll keep an eye on the progress.
Great.
Well, we're on our way to see another EV converter here in New Plymouth. His name is Adam. We're going to go and see how his progress is getting on his Toyota MR2 conversion. Alright, I'm here checking out the Toyota MR2. In the meantime, I'm just going to steal a bit of electricity. Well, this is Adam, and we're here looking at his MR2 conversion, which at the moment is completely gutted.
A few wires and bits in there. Yeah. Air conditioning unit's been taken out, which was half the front for some reason.
Let's go and check out the front of the car. So what voltage are you going to be running?
Just the standard 144 volts.
Oh, awesome.
12 cells.
Using lead acid batteries and using a Kali controller too. Interesting to see how that works out.
Budget Chinese Kali converter.
Oh, nothing wrong with budget Chinese stuff. Holds the Tredia together.
China.
You can see the engine's still got to come out here, so you're hoping to have the car out by...
Yeah, if I can get the engine out, which I don't know how the heck I'm going to get it out, hopefully by April.
Oh, brilliant.
I'll be up and running.
Let's see the difference between the Kali controller and the Curtis controller, both 500 amp. Very interesting. Alright, well I'll keep an eye on this and I'll come back and check this out in a few weeks and see how progress is going.
Yeah, cheers for your help.
I'm now on my way back home to go and talk to Karen, who is converting an electric Capri in Australia. Well, thanks to the joy of the internet and the joy of technology, we are now able to cross over live to New South Wales and Sydney, where Kieran is converting a Ford Capri. Isn't that right, Kieran?
That is right. Has a little Ford symbol right on it, but that's going to be replaced with an electric badge in probably about 3 weeks' time. If I had 3 days uninterrupted, I'd be driving this thing.
That was going to be one of my questions. When do you hope to have it on the road?
Yeah, very, very, very soon. I mean, I'm at the 98% mark. It's killing me.
Really?
Unfortunately, I've got to earn a living at the same time, and occasionally give my girlfriend and my son some attention.
What motor and controller are you using there, Kieran?
I'm using an Impulse 9, the 9-inch series wound motor. The main thing that was important to me was that it was pretty in red and fit in the engine bay.
Of course,
some other guys have used 8-inch motors, but I thought I want this thing to go hard. I don't want any weak links. So when someone says, "Hey, you've got an electric car," it doesn't go fast, doesn't do this, doesn't do that. I just wanted to just hit him and just go.
I know
boom.
exactly what you're trying to say, because I had the exact same frame of mind when I was converting mine.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, you might as well bust some myths, eh?
Exactly. What now? Actually, speaking of busting myths, you're using lithium batteries, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm using 45 of them.
What amp hour rating are they?
They're 90 amp hour ratings. Yeah, the battery management system I've got is all sorted out for 144 volts. So,
awesome.
Yes, I figure if I'm going to spend $1 on the batteries, I'm going to spend a couple more bucks in keeping those batteries healthy for the next 10 years.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, you've got to get battery management system. You've got to. Yeah. Speaking from no experience whatsoever, you've got to.
Well, you know, I've had the benefit of being able to see what everyone else has done and learning from not so much their mistakes, but things they would have done better the second time around. I actually wanted to originally do this in a Lotus Elise Series 2, but I didn't want to spend 15 grand on the body to do it.
Well, yeah, right, gotcha. Yeah. I think the old Capri should be a good car.
That's harsh.
No, just kidding. That's a lame joke I've been dying to say.
Aha! This is the computer. I no longer need this. In fact, pulling this computer out makes this genuinely, as well as pulling out the fuel lines and the fuel tank and anything to do with the fuel. As of last night, there is not one single fuel, internal combustion engine component in the car whatsoever. It's no longer a electric converted petrol car. It's totally electric. There's nothing in it that was there running any of the petrol stuff.
You have moved away from the dark side.
Yes, and it's probably another few meters of range too. So.
Oh, brilliant. An extra meter.
Yeah. So, that's all going on. You want to have a look in the engine bay?
Oh yeah, go on.
Alright, let's have a look. I'd run the wires up underneath and through this plate. The end result being the top looks really, really neat, and it also makes it hard to put your fingers on wires. So the first device that the electricity goes into is this big, what's it called, Gav?
Circuit breaker?
Circuit breaker, thanks buddy. Yeah, it goes into the circuit breaker, but see, you can't actually see where the wires go into the circuit breaker because it's coming up underneath. I've been kind of neat and careful about that.
That's super good. Very. Alright, so what's under that car seat, Kieran?
What's under this seat? Notice that the seat's all stock standard.
Looks pretty good.
Typical crappy old Capri seats. Not as dirty as the seat was in your car.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have to pull them out and scrub the old bejesus out of them. Alright, you want to see what's under this?
Yeah, go on.
Alright. Well, look at that.
Not
It's
bad.
Open the lid.
Yeah, go on.
Ta-da!
Woo! Can I have one?
Yes, but then it probably would be an air gap and I wouldn't really get far at all.
Well, I'm sure, Kieran, you will have the EV grin, or as they say in Australia, the EV green, very soon.
Okay, thanks for the chat.